I would love to hear about what your hardships might be.
Yeah, I think for the first 3 or so years that I was pursuing professional triathlon, it was just hard because I wasn't performing where I knew I could. And that's tough, like when you're spending all your time and money on a sport, you're not really getting out of it what you feel like you're putting in. That was hard for me, but like I said, I just kind of was like, hey, what can I do? What do I need to do? Take a holistic view, my nutrition, my coach, my everything. Like, what steps do I need to take to really boost myself to the next levels? It was hard for a while. I mean, even my husband was like, it's not really that fun going to races when you're always getting 8th place or something. Which is true though, because like, we're both so invested in this. My husband is too. You have to have a supportive partner if you're, in a relationship. And after a few years of just like not great results, it was kind of like, okay, maybe I'm not as good as I think I could be, or, maybe I just need to figure this out. That was tough. And then, most recently just having my crazy bike crash 2 weeks before Kona, that was definitely hard. I just like plowed through that crash and injury. I don't know how I did it mentally, because looking back at it now, that was insane. Like I couldn't use my either hands or arms. Like I was completely wrecked.
It's like you probably used all of your mental strength and mental prep that you had gotten ready for Kona. You like focused it into that, right?
Yeah.
It had to be, because you were probably in like your strongest condition mentally and physically.
Some people were just surprised how well I took it mentally. And I'm like, well, what else am I going to do? Like, I can't do Kona. I can't feed myself. I can't bathe myself. Like, I just have to deal with this. Like, there's no sense being depressed and down on myself. I mean, I certainly had depressing moments, but you just have to do what you can and deal with it. And I knew like the time would pass. Of course, in my head, I'm like, well, there's Kona 2020.
I know, we all had big goals for 2020, right?
Yeah, that's been kind of hard. But the nice thing about coronavirus kind of ruining all our seasons is that we're all in this together now. Whereas like when you're injured, you're not sitting there like you're watching other people race. And at least now it's like no one's racing. Yeah. What have been your hardships?
I guess my biggest setbacks is a lot of women pros try and figure out when or if to have kids and have a family. And it definitely wasn't a hardship, but it takes you, it's at least a full year or more out of racing. Triathlon is a thing that's important, but having a family was something I knew I wanted for my life. And your life is just so much bigger than triathlon. I was 30, almost 31 when I had Hunter. So it's like, you're just getting there. You put in those few years of like what you're saying, like your non-ideal results, which is really just your body figuring it out and starting to like absorb all the work you're putting in, and all that work pays off, but it takes, a few years. Right. And I felt like I was just getting to that point where I was about to be there. It's made my passion kind of double over for the sport. Just knowing that I had kids, you have to work so hard to get back in shape, and then have another kid, get double back in shape. And I think it's important to, if you want to have a family or do life, it does fit in and it is possible. And people shouldn't delay. I feel like I'm not trying to talk to you because I know, you want to have kids too, but don't delay, just do it, and it fits right in fine.
Yeah, no, as someone who doesn't have kids, and I'm 31 right now, it is inspiring for me to see how many women have kids and still perform so well in triathlon, because, it doesn't need to be black and white, like you either do or you don't have kids, you either do triathlon or don't, because that's depressing. No one wants to give something up if they're not ready to, but at the same time, we obviously can't have kids when we're 50, so...
Right. And the hard part is the time, like right now, you may want to have kids, but it's also the exact time where you're about getting to that next level, right, of racing. They happen at the exact same time. So you kind of do have to pick, do I want to get right up there early at the top, or do I want to do the family and then try and get up there?